Hey guys, we just got to meet the big man in charge. Motherfucking Poseidon Nero. Oh my god. Okay, so, yeah, right out of the gate, as you can tell, I just loved this chapter. And, but the first, so obviously the first big thing to talk about is that we get the full introduction to Poseidon Nero. And right out of the gate, I have to say, I love this motherfucking character design. Like, I love Nero's design. It's like his whole design. It's very much that of a pretty much the only way I can describe it is that of a predatory sea creature. Like his facial hair is pretty much that of an octopus, but his skin is, I don't even know how to describe his skin, but it feels like something of like a cross between a cheetah and pretty much some kind and maybe some kind of a sea creature. I don't know, but yeah. So it's like when you pretty much splice a whole bunch of different sea creatures together into one character, and I absolutely love it. In fact, one thing I will say about Poseidon Nero's character design is that I really is that a character design like this, I really feel shuts up the people who say Mashima only copy and paste his characters. Because Nero, to me, is completely original. I can, like, when it comes to Poseidon Nero's character design, I can in no way compare him to any other character I've seen before in either Fairy Tail or Rave Master, or maybe there's a character like Poseidon Nero in Rave Master. I just haven't seen him yet because I'm pretty early in Rave Master. But yeah, and the best thing about this design, as well, as that Nero kind of like, but the best thing about like Poseidon Nero's introduction in general, is that Nero as a character kind of gives off this very sage-like aura. Like Nero as a character presents himself as someone who obviously looks like he's long past his prime, yet somehow, but just somehow, just from that fact alone, yet somehow you still kind of fear what he's capable of, because you can tell that this is a man who's got years of experience under his belt, and those years of experience are in some way what makes him a threat. It doesn't matter how powerful he is. You just know that because of his age and the fact that he's lived this, you feel a sense of this is someone who has experience in battle, and you just kind of, and just on that fact alone, you kind of fear what he's capable of. Although I do admit that the one thing that it kind of take a little bit away from Poseidon Nero's coolness factor a bit for me, or intimidation factor, was basically the pretty much three dice he rolls. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's one of the, like, just seeing those three dice, it kind of like that pretty much felt like some straight up D&D gamer shit. Like the moment I was taking him seriously, but when I saw the dice, I was all like, Nero, you're a dork. Like, I'm sorry, but the dice really had me give me that D&D vibe. Just aura presence wise, Nero is, you can tell that this man is a threat, but the dice, it did take a little bit away from the coolness. But yeah, as far as everything else, Nero himself, just pretty much on this first chapter alone and his first appearance, I can already tell this pretty much is a powerful man. This is a man that we need to be cautious of, because he can possibly fuck shit up if possible. Like, even if he's not all that powerful, you can tell he's still got, again, he's still got the experience under his belt for sure. Now, if I were to say anything about Nero's introduction that did feel a little cut and paste, it would be his advisors, the Ocean Six, and how they do kind of give that from Spriggan 12 vibe. However, considering Mashima's track record with Eden Zero up to this point, the Ocean Six might potentially be the answer to the problem I had with the Alvarez Empire arc in Fairy Tail, which is that I like the concept and idea. I just wasn't a fan of the execution when it came to the Spriggan themselves, and how they were handled, because, like, I like the arc pretty well, but like the Spriggan 12 I just I don't know what it was. I just couldn't take them seriously on both on either a sympathetic or a threatening level. I think that Brandis was the only one I could take really seriously at all. But with the Ocean Six, just from their introduction alongside Nero, it already feels like these are the kind of characters. It already feels like Mashima's kind of fixing that issue, but by virtue of connecting Nero back to Ziggy, and the fact that he's basically cut the number of characters in half, like just the fact of having only six people to focus on. I feel that this is going to give us a lot more time in order to connect with the oceans, with the Ocean Six, and give us time to just kind of treat them as more of a threat, and in general just get maybe a couple more sympathetic moments out of them. But yeah, but again, that was my only problem with them. But aside from that, I'm just really curious as to what Swarmash is going to take both Nero and Eden Zero and the Ocean Six, sorry, after this, because yeah, these guys do give out the vibe of these are the next big potential threats. Um, of course, one thing that's worth mentioning about this chapter is that with the offhand comment from basically Holy that once Nero dies, Shota becomes ruler of the Aoi cosmos, and that almost kind of makes me think that Nero is not likely to be the long-term antagonist of this Aoi cosmos story saga, and that the focus is more likely to shift onto Shura as the main antagonist at some point. The only question is whether Mashima is actually going to kill Nero or just take him out of commission, because again, Nero has a very sleek design, and I want to see as much of him as possible. But again, with that passing comment, I don't know how long he's going to survive in this in this story arc moving forward. But in either case, considering we also learned that Shura was basically trained to use Satan gravity by Ziggy, it's likely he's gonna take center stage very soon. Which, yeah, on that note, the reveal in itself wasn't all that surprising because I think we all knew that that was the case. But the case from the moment we saw like Shura using Satan gravity. But my question is, at what point in Ziggy's life did he train Shura? Because right now, with this reveal, I'm looking at the potential of what a fight between Shota and Shiki would look like, and how both Shiki and Shura, not only have two very different experiences and perspectives on their time of learning Satan gravity with Ziggy, but I'm I'm sure they also have two very different perspectives and two very different ideologies about their teachings. So I'll be curious to see how the dynamic plays out, when they fight. Because the other thing I feel Mashima is tapping into with Nero and Ziggy in this chapter, like even though Ziggy didn't make an actual appearance, is the idea of legacies and how Shiki is the one carrying the weight of Ziggy's legacy on his shoulders, both the good and the bad, while Shura is taking up near his father's mantle and a little bit of Ziggy's mantle as well, or at least the dark side of the dark side of Ziggy's legacy now. Also, Shura, man, I'm sorry, but good luck on destroying Ziggy, pal, because in his current condition, he's got the full force of Satan gravity's darkness up against you. So, yeah, you're gonna need a lot more to reduce him to scrap, as you put it, man. I'm just saying, it's not gonna be an easy fight. A little bit of helpful advice for you, but do what it is you do, man. But yeah, of course, the chapter ends with us learning that Ziggy targeted Floresta in order to kill Zenolith, which is honestly pretty much common logic at this point. But now I'm even more curious, now than I was before, as to what the fuck kind of training or power that Zenolith plans to give Shiki, because Ziggy, if Ziggy feared Zenolith that much, then clearly there's more to this power than just being capable in order to collapse the surface of a planet. Just from Ziggy's one simple description of Ziggy fearing his former master, this sounds like this is something that'll give Shiki a total overhaul power-wise. But I don't think it's going to be easy either, because this already sounds like the kind of thing where Shiki could just as easily succumb, where in the process of this training or being given this power, Shiki could just as easily succumb to the darkness of Satan gravity in the process. So yeah, I think this is probably going to be a bit of a training arc for Shiki, just so he doesn't succumb to like the darkness of the power and whatnot. Also, on a bit of a smaller note, I like how the Eden Zero crew is becoming more and more recognized, even if right now it's really just a bunch of misfits. Which, yeah, on that note, I may as well address this supposed controversy with Creed going around, which is personally, I see it more as more jarring that Mashima is kind of shoving all these small romantic crush moments into the series. More have a problem with what Creed's doing by perving on the photo of Homer. Like honestly, like the biggest, like aside from maybe Shiki and like I don't know, there's something about the way that the romance stuff is being handled. Aside from Justice and Elsie, there's something about the romance aspect that's being feels a little shoved in our faces with this series. But that's just me. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and also Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.